Chelsea fans, an honest video from me, and I have to hold my hands up and apologise to Enzo Maresca for calling him a one-trick tactical pony for most of the season. And that was based on reaction, I should say, to games where we struggled to get results in, because I didn't feel at the time that we did enough or we could have done more. And the only change we were ever making in those games where we struggled was to bring on like for like and hope somebody else in the same position did better. But I have to be honest, and I have to look back at the last 6 weeks or so of the Premier League season where we pulled it together and finished in the top four, where we won the Conference League against Betis, a good side. And we've come into the Club World Cup and we've demonstrated in a few games, especially on the game on Sunday, that our manager can adapt, he can put together a game plan, and he gets the players to believe in what he's doing, and they can deliver the performance that we all sat and witnessed on Sunday. Now, I didn't do the live match commentary. I was away in Weymouth with my mates, and we were sitting by the harbour on Sunday, building up to the game. And a few of us at Chelsea, most of us at Chelsea, I should say, and we're sitting having a conversation. And I said, you have to stop Vitinha in the middle of the pitch and also Kvaratskhelia out on the left-hand side. My words were, if we did that, we had a chance. Now, I sat there, like the rest of you, and I watched that first half in total disbelief for a number of different reasons. Now, first and foremost, people are going to say PSG were knackered. PSG had a successful season, the Champions League, the French League, and they were knackered. But then you have to reply back with the same sentiment, really, because we played just as many games, if not more. We were knackered. But this is where your squad comes into it. This is why you train and you rest and relax and prepare yourself for the game. Because if PSG had beaten Chelsea, would they be saying, oh, Chelsea were just tired or PSG were too good? Now, we watched PSG, and let's face it, their Champions League win this season was remarkable, bearing in mind the amount of English teams they faced on the way. And we saw them dismantle those English teams and maybe get lucky once or twice. But honestly, I believe that PSG were the best team in Europe last season. But as I always said, Chelsea, if they turn up on their day, they can beat anybody. And I said it in my last video. And I said that with a bit of a hope more than anything. But what we witnessed against Paris Saint Germain in that first half was simply incredible. It was outstanding. I've seen the footage of Jason Cundy in the background on the commentary. This is unbelievable. This is incredible. And that was exactly what it was. Because Enzo Maresca came up with a game plan to identify the weak areas of Paris Saint Germain, which is on their left-hand side, their fullback. And when their fullbacks push forward, Vitinha drops into a left-sided centre-back position. And by doing so, there's a gap. And Chelsea played to exploit that gap, and we did it over and over again in that first half. And Cole Palmer had an absolute field day. The warning was there early. The pace we've got out wide. The movement of Joao Pedro up front. And I owe him an apology as well for saying that he's not really an upgrade on Jackson. What was I talking about? Obviously, I'm blind. Joao Pedro has had a stunning 2 games in the Club World Cup. An absolute stunning 2 games. And his movement, his link-up, his understanding with Cole Palmer already, as well as Liam Delap, is something that's going to excite us going into the new season. But anyway, Cole Palmer found the space. Cole Palmer, you know, the ball went over to Malo Gusto, and it was very, very... Think about it. Earlier in the season, we had a rumour going around that Enzo Maresca told the goalkeepers, you kick it long, you'll be dropped. But we identified that position, Maresca, that fullback being isolated. Long ball over the top, they couldn't deal with it, and Malo Gusto done really well with it, had a shot blocked, laid it off to Palmer, edge of the box, bang, 1-0. But the second one was just absolutely brilliant from us. We worked the space, ball in between the lines, Palmer drops off, and then PSG panic and drop off, and he's allowed to run 50 yards to the edge of the box, cut inside, still a few dummies, put a few people on the floor and off balance, and then put it in the bottom corner to make it 2. And then, if anything, even better, to go and get another one. It's just, and just get the assist was absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. So It was an unbelievable first half. And at half time, I sort of said, game over. And yes, Sanchez made 3 amazing saves. Let's be honest, outstanding saves. And he played his part in that game as much as everybody else. But it was a game where everything came together big time. And that was because of the manager's tactical plan and the players that went out and delivered it. The nonsense at half time, the show at half time was a joke. Donald Trump, after the game, keeping the actual trophy is an absolute joke. Not getting off the rostrum when the players were questioning why he was there is a joke. So it's just time for me to just sit and just say, look, I was up, and if you look back over my channel over the course of the season, in the beginning, I was very much critical of Maresca, saying he's just a yes man. Pochettino wanted out because he wasn't being backed, and this sort of stuff. Pochettino should never have gone. Then Maresca turned it round, and we were up to second place behind Liverpool, and I was singing his praises. And then when it fell apart again, I was questioning it because there's so much more that I thought that we could do tactically. Maybe he just needed time with the players. Maybe he just did. But as I said, I need to hold my hands up and say apologies to Enzo Maresca. And he's demonstrated over the last 2 months or so that he is tactically astute. He can build a game plan. He can get the players to buy into his tactical shape and deliver it. And that's most important as well. They have to buy in and deliver it, and they did on the biggest stage, the world stage. And we now get to wear the Club World Champions badge for 4 years, written off. But we turn up and we've done it again. The only thing I want to add at the end of all this is my apologies to Enzo Maresca. I still think the people in charge of transfers are absolute clowns. They've got about a 30-40% success rate so far. The signings they've made this window in Daft and Joao Pedro are exciting, and kudos to them. But we can no longer have the mess and the nightmare scenarios of signing players and selling them a year later, or signing them and loaning them out within 6 months because they don't really make it in the first team. They need to sort their shit out 100%. We can't be a laughingstock when it comes to the signings we're making for just being squad players and this sort of stuff. The Madueke thing, I understand and I agree with it, that he should go, and he's gone. Esteval Willian comes in. But all I want to say is, when you look at that Chelsea team celebrating on that pitch on Sunday night, look at that first team. The players that are in and around the first team squad. We need to I think we need another brilliant centre-back in there, and obviously the goalkeeper, but Sanchez was outstanding. But things are coming together. They're beginning to understand each other. They're playing well, and credit where credit is due. Enzo Maresca, credit to you. Apologies and credit to you. Those in charge of transfers, you've got it right so far this summer, but it's about time you made up for the mess you've made over the last couple of seasons. Anyway, we are Club World Cup champions. We've got a couple of weeks off till it all starts up again. And people are now talking about Chelsea being title challengers next season. I'm not sure if we will be over the course of a season, as long as we keep players fit, no silly disciplinary issues and no injuries. But it's exciting times, I have to say. But I literally sit here, and in a way, I'm still a little bit stunned after what I witnessed against Paris Saint Germain, the most dominant team in Europe. And we absolutely tore a strip off them, ripped them apart, and they simply had no answer. And that's credit the manager. Let's get the video done, got to be honest. And hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, drop a like on it, post your comments in the comments section. Subscribe to the channel and hit your bell for notifications. There'll be plenty more videos coming. Look after yourselves, people. Club World Cup champions. Again. See ya.